All right, Mike Heck here for MMAfighting.com, here with the man, the myth, the legend, BKFC president David Feldman. BKFC 19 going on tomorrow. Just wrapped up the weigh-ins. Things got a little intense, did they not?
Absolutely, they did. I mean, you know, it's good. It didn't get too out of control, but there's definitely some animosity here with some of these fights, which should make for some sensational fights tomorrow night.
Did it get you even, I mean, I know you're pumped up already, but just being up there next to these guys, and I know you're trying to maintain as much order as you can in your position, but did it get you a little more amped up for tomorrow?
You know, we had a lot of press here today, and that's exciting for me. The more and more press that comes out to cover this thing, and the crowd that was here for this, you know, that really gets me excited. Doing the weigh-in, you know, everything went off. Everybody made weight, and everything worked out right. So yeah, man, I'm excited for BKFC 19 tomorrow night.
Of course, the main event, we got Paige VanZant taking on Rachael Ostovich. We know it's the second time that they're going to compete. Different sport, obviously. Sure. Do you consider this a rematch? Like, does the word rematch make sense, considering we're going from the octagon and MMA to the ring and bare knuckle boxing?
I mean, I don't think it's like really a rematch, but they have history, and that's always a good thing to promote this thing on. You can go back to their history, and they fought before in a different sport, and you know, in that sport, actually, Rachael did better with the hands. So now she's coming into a sport where Paige is the experience with the hands. So it should be an intriguing match.
Paige has talked about how she's made some changes. She went from ATT, stuck to straight boxing for her camp, and she seems to have that fire in her eyes. Like, she's really taking this seriously. She took kind of the first loss personally, felt she could have done better, and if the fight had gone even longer, she felt she could have finished Britain Hart. Have you noticed a difference in the Paige VanZant that's getting ready to fight tomorrow compared to the Paige VanZant that fought at Knuckle Mania?
100%. I mean, she looks a lot different. She just looks in better shape. She made the changes necessary to do what she had to do to change her game plan. Look, I'm telling everybody, Paige VanZant does never have to fight a day in her life. She's making a lot of money right now. She's doing this for a different reason. Obviously, she's getting paid well, but she's doing this to prove something to herself. She has that inside of her. She knows that she didn't, I'm not going to say give 100%, she gave 100%, but she know her performance wasn't 100% on her first time here at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and she did everything she could, switched gyms, made all the necessary changes, so I'm excited to see what Paige VanZant shows up tomorrow night.
And what have you seen from Rachael, and how would you sort of compare her pre-fight mentality compared to Paige's heading into her first? Obviously, this is her first time competing in this sport. How would you compare the two mindsets?
Well, you know, I mean, this is a fight she wanted, because we talked about just getting her over and fighting different athletes, but that wasn't what she wanted. She wanted Paige VanZant for a reason. So, again, I think that adds something to this. I think she trained differently for it. She really wants it. You know, they're seeing these girls on social media and posting different pictures in bikinis and things like that, but they don't see what they're doing in the gyms behind closed doors. So I'm really excited to see who shows up on tomorrow night. I mean, I really want to see that fight.
Talk about this co-main event, because you feel like this is your low-key banger. We like to talk about low-key bangers on the cards that aren't getting enough love but probably should. I think the co-main event to you, that sort of defines low-key banger in your eyes, is it not?
Absolutely. There's two of them really on the card. There's Jean Herrera fighting Abby Velasquez, who's a veteran for me, and Jean Herrera's a former UFC fighter. And then the co-main event of the evening is Arnold Adams, our first ever heavyweight champ, versus Mick Terrell, 7-0 UK bare knuckle champ. So, I mean, it could be an unbelievable fight. I think it's going to be unbelievable. Mick Terrell just had to spend 14 days in Mexico to quarantine prior to coming over here, so he gave everything he could give. And I saw an Arnold Adams at the weigh-in tonight. That was just a whole different in-shape Arnold Adams.
Obviously, Paige VanZant and Rachael Ostovich, they're on the marquee, they're on the posters for a reason. But I got to tell you, the fight I'm most excited about is Britain Hart versus Jenny Savage. There's just so much heat between these two. Britain talked about it. Jenny obviously went into the ring, kind of took away from Paige's moment, and things have gotten really personal between these two. We saw it at the press conference yesterday. My apologies for stirring up the pot. I mean, okay. You know what I mean? But here we are. The weigh-in, the face-off between these two was intense. This is my low-key banger. Talk about this fight and what you expect to see from these ladies.
I mean, it's going to be a great fight. Look, Britain feels like she was cheated not being the main event of this card, because she beat Paige, but she has to understand promotional things that happen. And it's going to bring a lot of eyeballs to this to watch her fight again. But Jenny, what people don't know is Jenny actually has some shit going on in her personal life, some things going on in her personal life. I apologize. And she's fighting for a reason. Like, there's a reason behind it. And I've seen in combat sports, my entire life in combat sports, that when someone has a reason why they're fighting, they perform unbelievably. So, like you, I think that could be a fight of the night.
I feel like Britain Hart could be a big star for you. Like, I think her personality is she's just very unique. She is who she is. And Jenny's the same way. I feel like you have two women on the cusp of something very big. Do you feel that as well? Do you feel like the cup is overflowing, so to speak, and we're just waiting for one of these ladies to get over the other head?
Yeah, I mean, the women's division in general is just unbelievable. The women's division really is just unbelievable in general. We also have Taylor Starling on the card, who was one half of the fighter tonight at Knuckle Mania. We have a lot of 125ers, Pearl Gonzalez, a lot of these other ones that are coming over in the organization. So it's going to make for a really intriguing and interesting tournament for the 125-pound championship later on this year.
And, of course, we got the hip-hop, the social media influencers getting ready to throw down. I got to tell you, at first, I'll be honest, I was like, but now, like, hearing you talk about it, I get it more, and seeing these guys and how serious they're taking it, and not only that, how much respect they're giving to the professional fighters. It's been really refreshing, and I think it takes a lot of gusto for what these guys are going to be doing tomorrow night. Can you talk about what you've seen from these guys and just the respect that they deserve for being able to step in there, and they're putting themselves out there in front of millions of people?
No, they are, absolutely. Look, I doubted it myself. Honestly, I put it together and I'm like, oh, did I make a mistake? But they're going to be exposed to a total of over 120 million followers total between all of them on all the different social media platforms. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, whether they tune in or not, that brand is now seen by those people. So it's going to work. And what I've also seen in combat sports my whole life, if you match two evenly matched fighters, whether they're really good or really bad, you have an exciting fight. So I think we're going to have 3 exciting fights tomorrow night.
I think there's going to be a lot of exciting fights tomorrow night. Last thing from me, this was kind of glossed over coming out of that press conference, but you made a pretty big announcement that not a lot of people were talking about. And correct me if I'm wrong, Wednesday there's going to be a big thing that's happening that Bare Knuckle is I don't know if commissioned is...
I swear, man, it's crazy because I fought so hard. I'm sorry for cutting you off,
no,
but I'm so excited. I fought so hard to get this thing legal and sanctioned for 11 years, and finally they opened the door for us in June 2nd, 2018. Now the Association of Boxing Commissioners is forming a bare knuckle boxing committee next Wednesday at their annual convention. It's unbelievable. It's groundbreaking for the sport. It's going to open up so many doors for us in so many states around the United States.
And what about that excites you the most? Outside of just opening some doors, are there like certain states that you feel like this is going to help you get into? Like what things could come out of this?
You know, I mean, I think really all the states are going to start saying, wow, this is something that I have to take more seriously. But it's just because we fought so hard for this, and it's acceptance. It's now mainstream, if you will, in mainstream regulatory acceptance right now. And that's huge for the sport. Like just unbelievable for the sport and obviously for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship.
I do have one more question because I thought about this. Remember when Artem Lobov fought Paulie Malignaggi, and everybody said,
right here,
this is as good as it's going to get for BKFC. It's not going to get any bigger. They went all in on this fight, and now look at what you are, like where you are. I think you proved a lot of people wrong, and I think the sport in this genre and everything you're trying to do is getting more and more popular. What do you want to say to the people who a few years back were like, it's not going to get much better than that?
If you ever want to do anything in life, work your ass off and keep doing it, because anything is possible, because this is becoming mainstream now. Like it or not, or you're probably going to like it if you watch it, but like the fact that we're becoming mainstream or not, we are. We're here. I mean, it's just unbelievable. The growth is unbelievable. We just signed a Latin America deal and a deal in Russia to perform 24 fights in 2022 in those respective spots. So we're going to have over 50 fights in 2022. Coming from one event on June 2nd, 2018 to 50 fights in 2022. It's unreal.
Awesome. Amazing stuff, Dave. Excited for tomorrow night. BKFC 19 going down at the Tampa, Florida Fairgrounds. Paige VanZant versus Rachael Ostovich 2, or actually 1.5, I guess we'll call it, in the main event. So we'll see you tomorrow night, man. All the best to you.
Thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate it.